traveling in this direction for a while south, and Manhattan will be on the left, and New Jersey is on the right. This is on the right is Weehawken, New Jersey. Up at the top of the cliffs is where the famous duel between Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr took place. Spoiler alert, 200 years later, both guys are dead. On the left in Manhattan, the Empire State Building will come in and out of view. It's the square building with the rocket ship on top. The Empire State Building was the tallest building in the world for almost 50 years. But now some of the time... The States just lost 1 million able-bodied men in the Civil War and was entering the Industrial Revolution. So we needed people to build things and repopulate. So of the 12 million people who came through Ellis Island before 1924, 98% of them welcomed into the country. And about 40% of Americans today can trace their ancestry back to Ellis Island. They've digitized all the records. So if you want to do any personal research, you can at ellisisland.org. The smaller buildings on Ellis Island are abandoned hospital facilities, which are off limits unless you're on an exclusive hard hat tour. If you had a broken arm or a rash or were pregnant, they wanted you to receive medical services on the island. They would bring you off to your next adventure of becoming a student. They had one of the most advanced hospital facilities with the new concept of hand washing. We're coming up on the Statue of Liberty on the right. The Statue of Liberty was designed by French sculptor Frederic Auguste Bartholdi. He designed for liberty and enlightening the world, celebrating the 100-year anniversary of the United States' independence and also the recent abolition of slavery. Americans were a little sensitive to change, though, so they asked the artist to drop the chain. She had chains in her left hand originally and said, "No chains, Bartholdi." He dropped the chains and put a keystone in her left arm, and the keystone has the date of the United States' independence in Roman numerals, 1776. There are still chains at the Statue of Liberty's feet. Her right heel is lifted. She's walking into liberty. Out of bondage, she's in motion, and she's got the torch in her right hand, lighting the way with gold leaf on the flame, so hold on patina and turn green like the rest of the statue. Emma Lazarus wrote a poem as a fundraiser for an auction for the Statue of Liberty pedestal. The poem's called The New Colossus, with the famous lines, "Give me your tired, your poor, muddled masses yearning to breathe free," depicting the Statue of Liberty as a whole Statue of Liberty on both sides of the poop. I will let you all enjoy liberty and lightning the world. Just coming into view, the Brooklyn Bridge. I love the colors. The purple is glass bricks. They put a fancy hotel and event space up top. So maybe one day I'll get to spend the night in my favorite building in Manhattan. You never know. If you also like this building and you're like, oh, I like cast iron buildings. Soho, the neighborhood, has a collection of cast iron buildings. Green Street in particular. On the right, we're now alongside Brooklyn. You can kind of see the contrast from industrial waterfront to the park waterfront that New York has kind of been busy creating. Park on the waterfront. We got the Brooklyn Tower on the right, the big black tower towering over the rest of the borough. New Yorkers hate that building. They say it looks like the Lord of the Rings tower without the eyeball. And it very much does. I was giving a walking tour a couple of years ago, and some people on the tour were ranting about that building longer than you should rant in public. And another guest asked me what I thought about the Brooklyn Tower. And I said, well, it's new, it's tall, people don't like new tall things. And he said, I'm one of the architects. And I was like, oh, good thing I didn't go too hard on the Brooklyn Tower. It's got copper stripes on it in the black steel, and eventually that copper will patina and turn green like the rest of the Statue of Liberty. So it'll have green stripes in the black steel, which I don't know. It certainly won't look like the Lord of the Rings tower anymore. Off to the left, there's a building, beige building with some scaffolding on top. To the left of that building is Wall Street. As we come parallel, you can look down Wall Street and see Trinity Church at the end. Now, this is, I don't even think the front of the boat has this view yet, so if you're at the back of the boat, it's going to take a while. But to the left of that beige building, you'll see Trinity Church. Wall Street is where the Dutch built a fence that they called a wall, which does sound better than Fence Street, I suppose. So the Dutch colony, New Amsterdam, was like the southern end to the left of Wall Street. There's also a narrow, tall building on the left that doesn't have all the glass on it. That's our Leaning Tower of downtown. It is leaning to the right 6 inches more than it was ever supposed to. They stopped construction in 2018, and nothing has happened since. The narrow, tall, without all the glass on it yet, on the waterfront. That's our Leaning Tower. There's a lot of articles about it. The New Yorker just published one, and all of my friends sent me the article being like, do you know about this building? And I'm like, have you not been on the tour? Like, we go by it every day. 2018, folks. The foundation is not working. On the left, there's a ship with 3 masts, which is the Wavertree, a British ship from the 1800s that now operates as a museum. The short brick buildings on the left are a historic district called South Street Seaport. We got a building with a wave going up the side of it on the left, the Frank Gehry apartment building, the Jenga building, and then the wedding cake building with the gold statue, civic fame, Audrey Munson. We're coming up on the Brooklyn Bridge. The day it opened, May 24, 1883, more than 150,000 people walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. And a lifetime later, a woman was interviewed about the landing on the moon. And she was asked, what did you think? And her response was, it was nothing compared to the day they opened the Brooklyn Bridge. Just to give you an idea of how significant it was to be able to walk from Brooklyn, Manhattan for free and not have to pay for the ferry.
You didn't do it yet?
No, I haven't done it.
You should.
So this is the Brooklyn Bridge. Oh, the next bridge is the Manhattan Bridge, and it gives us the name for the neighborhood in Brooklyn, which is Dumbo, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. Dumbo. We have some other silly names around New York, like Tribeca, the triangle below Canal Street, and Soho, south of Houston Street. And we do call it Houston. I'm so sorry, Texas. I know you call it Houston, but I grew up in a house, not a Houston. We can agree to disagree. They're 2 different places and they should have different names. So the Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, and then the third bridge is the Williamsburg Bridge. We call them the BMW bridges for Bob Marley and the Wailers. The Williamsburg Bridge connects Williamsburg, Brooklyn on the right with the Lower East Side and Manhattan on the left. So we're going to take a break here until we get to the third bridge. I'll let you all enjoy some time. You have time to get a beverage or a snack down at the concession stand on the main deck. Again, they have some slushies and ice cream and popcorn down there. I'm around my Grand Polo. If you have any questions, I'll be back in a bit.
Oh, it's over there.
It wasn't a pirate ship.
Pirate ship. What do you see?
I really jumped the gun on that statue behind us business. There she is, on the left, back behind us. Affordable housing neighborhood, Stuytown, built for World War II veterans originally. Yankee Stadium on the right, and just past this bridge on the left is Rucker Park. Rucker Park's where a lot of basketball players have played over the years. Just past busiest bridge in the world. George Washington Bridge. It's technically incomplete, and that they plan to put some stonework around the towers. You were never meant to see this crisscrossing ironwork, but World War II happened, and they were like, we just need to use the bridge. It looks good. And Cass Gilbert was going to do the stonework, but they never got around to it. So it's technically incomplete, but people love it. They love seeing the ironwork, and actually architects, like engineers all over the country, copied this bridge in its incomplete state because they liked it so much. So, a new standard. Sometimes when you don't get to finish your project, it works out okay.